Good evening. Hi there. Welcome. Hopefully we've got a good start with us now on time. I think in the last of these 3 parts, it's the first one I've managed to actually start without any hiccups. So hopefully that's a little bit of a smoother beginning. If you're tuning in and haven't seen before, then this is a little bit of a video around some doubles. And it's third in a sort of 3-part series that we did to try and give a little bit of content for people who are missing their tennis during the lockdown. So it's geared around doubles, and this week I'm trying to exposing a few of my secrets. So these aren't necessarily things you'll find in textbook or classic pointers, but you may well have experienced them before, but they're more from a sort of playing experience, things that I've learned as I've gone along playing doubles at high level, picking up some elements, and I'm going to try and tell you some of those today. And hopefully they'll have some relevance no matter what level you're playing at. So there should be something a little bit for everybody. Okay, I don't know quite how long it will be. I suspect it'll probably be about 20 minutes, something like that. And I'll do as I have done, which is I'm sort of recording, and I'll put it on as a post afterwards as well. So if you want to catch up with some bits you've missed or send to somebody else, then please do. As ever, big promotion for a little bit of a follow. So if you haven't followed our page yet, then please do. We're trying to put some content out for you fairly regularly. So it's good to stay in touch and keep in touch with what we're putting out there. Okay, I'm going to start us off then. And I'm using the board this week. So last week we had the court, but unfortunately it's been pretty wet today. So I didn't want to take any chances. And we had a few light issues setting up. So you've got the pleasure of some decorative wallpaper as part of the view, but the light was a real pain, and I can see why you need a studio if you do this sort of thing. So this is the best we can get. So I'm hoping I'm not blocking it out. It was a little bit of a shadow, but I think you can see it fairly well. Okay, so let's get down to business. Let's look at the first thing on the list. Okay, so the first secret tip that I'm giving out, if you don't do this, I would strongly encourage you to do this, and that is to move when your opponent is about to hit the ball. Now, that's not a dirty trick, by the way. It's perfectly legal, perfectly normal thing to do. You should be doing it anyway as part of the shot, but you need to check and think, am I actually doing that? Because if you're moving as they're about to play the ball, you are going to start putting some doubt in the player on what they are trying to do. Okay, and I'm picking out 2 key places where you should really make this work. So I'm going to make a little scenario here. So I've got a server here, an opponent serving. Okay, he's got a opponent at the net here, opponent volleyer. This is me at the net, and here's my partner. Okay, so the first scenario is that if the opponent is serving to my partner, when my partner makes the ball back in, makes the return, I am definitely going to move as they go to play that shot. So whether they've come to the net, so if they're taking the ball around, maybe around the sort of service line, I am definitely going to move my feet, and I really mean shuffle my feet and get ready to move. Even if I don't end up moving, I'm going to make that movement to get them guessing. Am I going to come across? Am I staying? Am I going to intercept? Maybe they just look at me and get distracted, something to take themselves off the ball, just to put some doubt in their mind. So if they're coming in to make volley here, I'm definitely moving at that moment. And if they're staying back, I'm doing the same thing. I want to try and put that little bit of doubt in their mind. Okay? So that's a serve and volley situation. I also want that to be the case if the roles are reversed. So if I want, my partner is now serving. Okay, here's the returner. I'm still at the net, still got the opponent's volleyer. So my partner makes the serve. As they're about to make the turn, I am moving. I am definitely looking to put pressure on that return, get them thinking that they've got a really difficult return to be made because I'm looking busy and I'm trying to make noise. I am trying to make my feet make noise to add to the pressure. Okay, so that's secret number one. I hope you don't think that's just a dirty trick and today's session is just me giving out dirty tricks that are unsportsmanlike. I can assure you that is perfectly within the rules and is normal play. So please don't think bad of me. Okay, let's have a look at number two. So number two, if I sort of try to paint the picture for this, often what happens here is maybe the opponent, we've got one opponent at the net already, second one moved forward, so they've now joined them, they're at the net as well. Okay, I'm at the net, so I'm in maybe more of a back position now because they've taken the net, so I'm in here. Okay, and my partner down in this position puts up or attempts to put up a lob. They're going to try to lob over the top, but unfortunately in this case it's not a very good lob, and what's going to happen is that this player is going to move back and make a smash. Now I can guarantee if either of these guys makes a smash, it's probably coming straight at me. Okay, so what you've got to be careful of, and this is a little bit of a discipline, but you've got to be careful not to just turn your back, turn away and give up on the point. What you've got to do in this situation is move from the position you're at on the net, and you have got to drop back to just behind service line, okay, and get ready to make a defensive volley. So you can almost be sure it's going to come towards you, okay, and if you can just give yourself a little bit of time, even just getting some strings on the ball and making a rebound has got a good chance of the ball coming back in play, and you get out of the situation. Now, if you can do that, that is an absolutely big point. That would really become a bit of a turnaround because these guys are expecting to win all smashes. So that is their heads are going to drop after that, and you are going to pick up a point that you didn't really deserve to win. It can be a real momentum changer. Really, really big key. So as much as it sounds scary, please don't just turn your back. Drop back, drop right back, get a split in and get ready to get a block on the ball. Try to get the ball back in play and live again. Okay, so key one. Another little cue signal that could work with that is the minute your partner pays the lob up, you will tell from watching these two players whether one of them is going to smash. So if one of them sets up to make the overhead, start to move. You don't even need to wait for them to hit. The minute you see them preparing to hit, you get back into that position and get ready to make the block because you can be pretty sure it's coming your way. Okay. Right, that is secret number two. So let's go, we'll go to a slightly different one now. So this is one that crops up a lot during talking to players at clubs. Certainly happens within teams as well, that you'll get an opponent who is a phenomenal lobber. You know, you may come in, you're trying to do all the right things, you get to the net, trying to be attacking, but they've got a very, very good lob. And some people have got an excellent lob they've built up over years. And it's not good enough to just say, oh, lobbers, oh, that's not tennis, and boring and defensive. You know, the lob is a key part of the game, really, really key part of the game. In fact, it's returning back into doubles more and more at higher levels. So we've got to be able to handle it and deal with it. So here's our chief lobber at the back of the court here. Okay, there they are. And they are pulling us apart by just making balls back into the deep edges of the court, changing our formation if we're at the back of the net, pushing us back, or maybe just putting us in difficult situations. So what we need to try and create here, here's the lobber, here's the lobber's partner, here is me, and here's my partner. So I need to change this game situation. I need to take this person who's really comfortable at the back of the court making lobs, and I need to bring them forwards. I need to bring them up into this area of the court where they can't lob from and where they're probably not very comfortable. So I'm going to use a drop shot. Now, the drop shot doesn't necessarily need to be a winner. It may just need to achieve this goal of bringing them from the back up to the front, and then I can expose the space in behind. So I can become the lobber, or maybe I can expose the fact that they're not very comfortable in the net and their volleys are not too strong. Okay, but if I just leave this person here at the back, I'm just playing to their strength. All day long, they are going to make lobs over my pair. Even when we come forwards, try to be aggressive, they are going to make some tactics against us. So bring them forwards. Mid-court balls, low balls, drop shots, anything that's going to bring them in, and then get them out of their comfort zone. So that's a pretty common point. I hear that a lot, as I say, at club level, and I'm sure some of you can probably name a couple of people that you play regularly in some falls that you could try that on next time you play. Okay, so let's move on. So let's just come up with a couple of tactical plays. So this one is, I really like this one. I use this a lot when I'm playing with a partner. And if I don't know the partner well, I'll actually go out of my way to explain it to them of what is going to happen. And if it's someone I play with more regularly, then they know I'm going to use this quite a lot. So here's my opponent. Oh, bit of pen run out, there we go. Here's my opponent. Here is me. Here is my partner. Okay, so the tactic I want to set up here is I am going to send this ball straight towards this player. I'm not looking to go for a winner down the line. I don't want to take that much risk. I want to just send a ball into this player here. Okay, so often if this is right-hander, it's going to be onto their backhand volley, so maybe they don't feel quite so strong with it, so it's a good side to play from here. But I know that their volley has got to come back through here. Okay, so on knowing that, I'm telling my partner to be ready to make their volley in the middle. Okay, now if they make their volley in the middle from here, what we should have done is actually create some space through the middle of their court here. So server will play into me. I play my ball line, putting this volleyer to the side. I've told my partner what's happening. Ball comes in. They get their ball in behind to the space here. Okay. So that is a really, really strong play. Should be used way more than it is. It's a great way of getting a lot of variety. And often if maybe this player is not as strong, so if the pair are unequal, then I can get the ball maybe to the weaker player, try and expose their volley. Okay. So just need a bit of, get my OCD cleaning going here, without trying to rub out all the lines, even though they're hardly the straightest lines in the first place, but never mind. Okay, so really, really strong play, that one. Really strong play. Definitely throw it in the mix. I'd be using that 30% of the time probably. Okay, another key play, another key tactical play is when I'm the returner. So if I put myself into this top corner here, okay? There's two types of returns that I want to vary with. So the first one is, and this is specifically driven towards second serve. So maybe when I've got a little bit more opportunity to construct something in the point I want to, rather than facing a bigger, faster serve, I've got a chance here to maybe impose myself a little bit more in the rally. So my first option is I will come forwards, take the ball earlier, and get the ball back to the opponent. Get the ball back to the opponent quickly. Okay, giving them very little time. My second option is, and this is still on second serve, mind, I will actually drop further back on the second serve. So instead of taking on baseline, I'm going to start taking this well behind the baseline. And as the player is here, I'm then going to give myself time to make a really big ground stroke. Really aggressive, fast, hard ball into this space. Okay? So that if they're serving volleying, my partner at the net here is going to get a really good chance to come and intercept off of a tough volley from them. Okay? And I'm going to mix those two returns quite a lot. And I'm going to make sure the server can see me changing positions. Sometimes as they're about to put the ball toss up. Okay, so anything I can get to put some doubt in their mind, anything to get them thinking, am I going to go for A or B option, is going to start causing them some problems. And I'm going to mix that tactic and mix it really well. And if I combine that with the one I was just talking about before, about the line ball, then I'm starting to become a real pain on the second serve. Okay, and that's crucial for doubles. You've really got to make sure you get that second serve point, start winning big points on second serves, because if someone's got a fast serve, you may not be able to do much about it. Okay, let's try and get another one in now. So another little secret. So hopefully you may be doing some of these things yourself already, and I'm just confirming what you already know, which would be brilliant. And if not, then hopefully it's giving you a little bit more ammunition. Okay, so back to being cruel again. And a sort of a bit of a golden rule I have when I'm playing with a partner is that the opponent who just missed the ball, so that's from the previous point, if one of the players missed the ball, made a mistake, or something, responsibility fell at them, then the next point I am always going to make that player play again. Okay, so if my opponent in here has just missed a horrible volley, for example, they are getting the next ball. No matter what, that ball is going back to them. And that's for two reasons. One is, if they're still thinking about the miss they had, then they're probably not concentrating on the game. And it could be a good way of me getting 2 cheap points in a row. If they are feeling a little bit unconfident, another ball coming at them is going to really challenge them as well and cause some problems. So, golden rule when I play with people, the person who misses, they get the next ball. They are definitely going to get the next ball. Okay, and that sort of leads a little bit on to almost a subplot of that, which is, it's not tactical, but it's actually linked to testing a pair's chemistry. Now, if you've got some experience, you might understand what I'm talking about, which is, how well a pair get on. How well do they work together? Are they a team? Can they make misses and it's okay? The other person supports them. It gives them that confidence to be allowed to make mistakes. Or are they making some errors and feeling really quite bad about it? So I want to try to find out, as we're playing, what's going on a little bit in their relationship. If they've got one player who's particularly strong and one that's weak, often that mismatch is going to cause a problem. Or maybe it's just their personalities. Maybe one is just more the leader, the one that deals with the pressure, takes charge, and the other one is not. Then that often can cause a problem. So it's not that they're necessarily a weaker player technically, they may be very skillful, but if the player who's not the leader starts to make a couple of errors, that's really going to test the reaction of the two players. Is this player big enough to support, or do they start rolling their eyes and giving up because they start to think their opponent isn't, their partner isn't adequate? So it's a little bit like turning a stone to try and look what's underneath it and find out whether or not that works. But it's certainly something that needs to be explored within the game. Okay, right, last point, and this could influence a little bit how you choose some sides, but what I'm trying to highlight here, a little secret is that if you play on the ad side, here, okay, and you're right-handed, you should be running around and playing forehands, okay? You should be looking to play forehands and getting some really good strength in here, because this is a great position to be on in the court. From here, you've got a forehand that you can hit with good angle across, but you could get an option of trying to get round it a little bit further maybe and strike that forehand line. Backhand down the line is a really, really tough shot. It's really hard to make in the doubles, especially when you've got an opponent that's in here looking to react. So a backhand down the line here, you've either got a great backhand down the line or you don't, and it's a bit tricky. Whereas a forehand down the line, you've got a chance to accelerate the ball, add a bit more speed, make that shot a bit more of a weapon, and put this person under a little bit more doubt about which option you're going to choose. And the key thing that links to that, what's going to allow this person the freedom to feel like they can really move out wide on the court, is that their partner in here needs to do a great job of covering the midsection. So they really need to be able to cover pretty much this area of the court. So they've got to have the middle covered angle and allow this player to get out wide. Okay, it will only really work if you've got your partner at the net that is confident to cover big sections of the court, really closing in tight, covering off angles. Okay, right, so there's just a little series of some really good secrets. As I say, you might know some of them, you might be doing some, I really hope you are. I just wanted to share those with you because quite often everything comes as a little bit of out of a textbook, and you can read things that are just sort of delivered in different ways, but this is a little bit more of a sort of personal experience. This is things that I have done on court. I know it works. It works against me just as well, but I have real confidence in trying to promote those things to you. So I've done I'll put this post out again. I'll put this video out as a post again so you can track it later on. I'm also going to put it onto our YouTube account as well. So I've done a separate video for that, so I'll post it onto there. And I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be in touch with some follow-on actions after that. Okay, take care. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye-bye. Yeah. Yeah.